Hi guys, today we're going to look at using multiple conditions in an if statement in Microsoft Excel. As usual with my videos, I've set up a little sample worksheet to illustrate exactly how this is going to work. We've got maths exam results taken by a variety of different students. Apparently they take two parts. They take parts 1 and 2, and we have to determine what their final result is. Do they pass or do they fail? And both parts 1 and 2 have to be taken into account. We're going to look at or statements and we're going to look at and statements. Okay, so let's have a look at that or statement first of all and see exactly how it works. I'll press my F2 function key and there it is. What this is basically saying, and read it like this: check to see if D5 is 75% or more, or E5 is 75% or more. If either of those two things are true, they pass. If neither of them are true, they fail. That's how that particular statement, that's how that if function using ORs work in Excel. What about AND alternatively? Well, what is this saying? This is saying something very similar, but using AND. Check to see if D5 is greater than or equal to 75% and if E5 is greater than or equal to 75%. If both those things are true, then they pass. But if they're not both true, then they fail as a final result. So we're checking part 1 and part 2 and determining whether or not these guys pass or they fail. Now what I'd like to do, of course, is I'd like to demonstrate from scratch exactly how you create an if statement using OR first of all. So in the usual way, equals if, open brackets. This is where I use the keyword OR and I open my brackets again. I'm going across to D5 to check to see if it's greater than or equal to 75%, comma separator, and then E5, check 2 whether it is equal to 75% or more. Close off my brackets, comma separate. If either of those two things are true, they pass. That's the piece of text I'd like to go into my results cell. If neither of those two things are true, they fail. Return or enter, having closed off my brackets, and of course double clicking the fill handle to copy down from student 1 all the way through to student 12. Exactly the same, or same as far as an if statement is concerned anyway, but the difference being is an and this time. Check to see if that is true and if that is true. If they are both true, that is if D5 and E5 are greater than or equal to 75%, then they pass. But if they're not both true, then sadly perhaps they'll fail. Return or enter, copy down through. So there's an OR statement. Classic again in Excel. Check to see if one thing or the other is true. If either of those two conditions are true, they pass. If they're both false, then they fail. That's an OR statement in Microsoft Excel. The alternative, of course, was the AND. Check to see if they're both true. Do they get 75% or more in parts 1 and 2? If they do, they pass. And if they don't, again, perhaps unfortunately, then they will fail as a final result. And they are two examples of using multiple conditions in Microsoft Excel if statements.